Welcome back to Coffee with the Editor. I am still here at the Southern African Railways Association's conference and exhibition being held here in Sandton. I'm here at the Transnet stand and I am with CEO Russell Baatjies from Transnet Freight Rail. On the topic of integration and better collaboration, you have been doing some pilot tests with Eswatini Railways. How has that been going?
It's been going well. We want to increase the train length from the 80 wagon train that we're running currently to 160 wagon trains. We've done a test in May of the 160 wagons. There were some issues that we needed, technical issues that we needed to resolve. We're just about ready to implement it. My colleague and the president of SARA, Nick Lamini, spoke about it just now, and we're both excited, and our organizations are both excited. New technology, longer trains running through Eswatini means more volumes and more efficiency.
So what is the volume impact going to be?
Effectively, you'll move 2 trains in 1 slot. So theoretically, you can double the capacity from a slot point of view. But obviously, you need to make sure you have the resources, look at the full value chain, the offloading capabilities. But we're excited. And probably by the next time when it's running, I'll tell you, okay, annualized, this is the volume that we can gain from the longer train.
Further with regional integration, how are you expanding?
With other regions, we're doing well. I think with CFM, we've had good discussions. We're increasing on the chrome and magnetite. Obviously, we want to increase through Richards Bay as well, coming down through Eswatini and also on the coal line. I had some good discussions on Tuesday with Namibia. They want to also just get going on the rail side again to South Africa. The team visited Maputo recently, just strengthening the relations and looking at opportunities to improve. So certainly the cross-border traffic we want to improve. We want to do more volumes. We've had some discussions with Botswana as well about their fleet and how we can assist with that just to get them more capacity. There's a lot of volumes, and I think the theme of SARA specifically is to transport Africa, and that's really our intention, is to get more rail traffic and reduce our dependency on road.
Keeping in that thematic, obviously with the split with Transnet into all its divisions, how is that impacting some of the projects that you were involved in as, Transnet Freight Rail, specifically the Eswatini Rail link, I'm going to get it wrong, Lephalale Railway Line with Botswana? Are you still going to be part of that, or is that now going to be corporate from a Transnet perspective?
I think the infrastructure needs to be there first. So I'm sure on the TRIM side, those discussions will continue. On our side, we get involved in terms of the operations. And certainly, with open access, there will be other players interested. But we would be keen to get involved in that. It's good volumes. Mostly coal. If there's an opportunity for us to get involved as TFR, we would certainly like to get involved. I think it's a good project. It's about building the line and making sure that you connect Botswana with South Africa and eventually then the coal line. To my mind, you'll also have to look at the coal line capacity, because if you build the line from Botswana to South Africa, you also need to look at what is it that the South African coal mines want to do. And if they also want the capacity on the line, you'll have to look at increasing the capacity on the primary coal line in line with what you're building on the Botswana side. Coal is where we've seen some good growth, and we keep on increasing the capacity. We're building more locos for the coal line. TRIM is doing some work on the signaling. So coal is doing fairly well.
Open access, it is probably the news of the week or the news of the year or the news of the last 3 years that it's now all come to pretty much a head. We're all very excited as an industry, and I think certainly for you guys as a train operating company, yes, it's a change of business, but I think it's also a little bit of business as usual, but slightly different.
For us, we're encouraged by it. I mean, the more players you get on the network, the more money goes into the network. Our view is that we did 160 million tons last year. New players will add on to the volumes. And what we can't execute, others will execute. And I saw that the minister indicated on Tuesday that TRIM's indications are that by 26, 27, new operators will add 20 million tons to the network. Well, that's good income for TRIM. That's good for the South African economy. We want to do what we need to do in terms of increasing our capacity. I don't think the intention, and TRIM has said that, Transnet has said that, the minister said that, is not to displace the volumes that we're executing, but to add on to the volumes. Everybody wants to see more volumes on the rail. And I think you're defeating the purpose if you're now saying we're still doing 160 million tons, the other 20 million tons is just done by other operators. Then we've not really achieved what we wanted to. You want other operators to bring more volumes on top of what we are doing, and in time their market share will increase, and we have to make sure that we're competitive.
How are you kind of putting that strategy together to ensure that you are competitive and become more so in what, in my view, will become a competitive environment?
Well, we've changed our business model in terms of, I said this to you before, our model was based on corridors. As an operator, we wanted to get closer to the customers. So we are now split into business units so that we can better serve our customers. So we've got the coal business unit, iron ore business unit, steel and cement, minerals, mining and chrome, and then containers, agriculture and bulk liquids, and iron ore. This is really just to make sure that we listen to our customers better, understand their desires and what they want to do, their growth plans, so that we can align our plans to theirs. We're going to be competing for customers as we go forward, and we need to make sure that we serve them best. Our model has changed from one of being a monopoly to one where we have to compete. In TFR, we're trying to make everybody understand that things will not come naturally. We have to fight for our share as we move forward, and we need to make sure that we improve in terms of the product that we deliver to our customers. And the first phase was for us really to align ourselves to them and make sure that we serve them better.
Well, I'm pleased that you've gone back to a product or commodity-focused business, because that definitely aligns you better with your customers, and I think will serve your strategy better. And you have recently signed some really good deals. What's in the pipeline?
Yes, we've signed some good deals. Generally happy with the improvements that we've made in terms of the volumes. You would have seen them reporting in terms of the growth that they've seen. And I must say they're very supportive in terms of growing further. We're not where we want to be from a coal point of view. We're looking at even longer term agreements with the coal industry. On the manganese side, we've also recently signed some long-term contracts, 10-year contracts, and we're excited about that. It helps us to plan better, and it also helps the customers to plan better. They've got certainty of supply, logistics. Confidence is there from the customers, you can see that. I'll tell you this, there are some areas where we still have to improve. Areas where we are severely affected by theft. Some of the customers have indicated on the Cape Main line between Kimberley and Johannesburg that our service has not been great, and the primary reason for that has really been theft. Some of the TOCs were awarded slots that run on that network. So I think others will understand the pain that we have in terms of that.
With the whole reposition, we're now at the point where we have 11 new train operating companies coming into the environment. Where are you now positioned from dealing with your supply base? What are you going to be needing going forward now for the next 12 months in terms of equipment or components and support?
Well, we're still busy with the locomotives. Our intention, the 23, is that Transnet Engineering and Alstom are building for us in Durban. We've received about 47 of them, so that program will continue to run. In total, we want to deploy 90 to the coal line, so that program will continue beyond next year as well, and that's just for the coal line. We have awarded to Alstom the repair of 48 of the CRRC locos. We'll start seeing some of those locos coming out, and we want to increase that and actually get more locos back into service. We also have some diesels that we're putting back into service with Transnet Engineering and Webtech. A total of 58. We also want to increase that. And then Transnet Engineering is also working on some of the other long-standing locals to see how we can get them back. Everything is just not about recovery, must also create new capacity. For coal, we're busy with an assessment now to see whether we have enough wagons, and not just export coal, also Eskom's got the Mmamabula line, to see what we can do on top of what we're doing currently. We've got smaller wagons deployed there, and we want to look at the possibility of increasing. There are some other projects that we're working on, trying to increase train length incrementally on the chrome and magnetite trains, and then also increasing the payload on manganese trains on the ore line specifically. Cannot expand capacity for manganese, for instance, to 24 million tons on the rolling stock and on people if you don't have the infrastructure. So once we have a clear indication in terms of the timelines of manganese expansion and on which lines it is, we will then make sure that we get the rolling stock and the people in place for the execution of that. We have to put our best foot forward if we are to have a share of that new capacity that's created. We're still excited about the journey that we're on, recovery, and also in Transnet we now have the reinvention for growth strategy. So you cannot recover forever. You also need to look at how you go forward and modernize. So we're looking at some new technologies. We've put out some RFIs in terms of just using artificial intelligence to do some of the inspections that are done manually. We think we can save a lot in terms of those sorts of technologies. So the world has moved on. We cannot be in the recovery phase forever. We also need to say, how do we modernize? How do we get back to where the Class 1 railways are and the technology is today, and get that technology to improve in terms of efficiencies, volumes, and also safety.
I think the Minister said by 2029, 250 million tonnes.
I think South Africa wants 250. It's not just the Minister. And I hear about 300 million tonnes as well. We'd like to play a big role in achieving those volumes. Our planning is certainly towards that, to make sure that we keep creating capacity as much as we can, not just limit ourselves to 200 million tonnes or 250, as much as we can. Where there's an opportunity, we must try and create that capacity and try and serve customers.